mount the second set of perspex, or the second piece of perspex. So same again here, we'll take this dual sort of dual bracket. It's got the 2 slots for 2 pieces of perspex, and just position it there, and drill these 4 holes out first. Position your part over the top, spin it around so we get the orientation right. Grab the screws. Guidelines again. Grab your perspex. And mark their positions. Screw it down. Just make sure it fits. Tight fit again. And use your square again to make sure your piece is level. Right angles to the base. And I usually just use a spacer on the other end just to make sure we've got it level with the base. That looks pretty good. So now we're just going to mark the positions for the holes in the perspex. So we're just going to drill those holes with an M4.5 drill bit. Okay, we've just spun it round, just put the last screw in. Okay, the last piece of perspex, it's the same process again. So we're just going to plug it in, mark the position. And okay, the last piece of perspex, it's the same process again. So we're just going to plug it in, mark the position. And drill it out again. Now we're going to mount the y-axis brackets. This is a y-axis bracket. We're going to mount four of these onto the base, and they're going to hold the y-axis 10mm rods. And we've just organised some rubber bushes. These actually come off the rods of the printers. We've just grabbed eight that look the same, and we've grabbed some narrow ones as well. So we've got two sort of sizes here, and you'll see later on why. And two different length screws, 4 of each, and 8 washers. And we'll make a start. So we'll start with the back one here. Grab one of your brackets, just make sure it lines up okay with the holes, and just watch the orientation of this. There's a hole in here where you put a clamping screw which clamps the rod. It just clamps this together over the rod, and just make sure this hole is actually on the outside, is accessible with a screwdriver. There's no point putting it in here because you won't be able to access it, so just be wary of that. And the same for this end as well. You probably want to have access to the screwdriver in this way. So grab a drill, 3mm drill bit, drill out your first 2 holes. And then we'll start setting up the screws. So take a long screw. This is probably about 40 mils. It's an M4 40 mil self tapper. Put your washer on there. It's a mudguard washer, and one of the narrow bushes. That one's probably about 5 mil. Feed it on, and then we're going to feed it through the bracket. I'm going to put a bush on the other side, one of the bigger bushes, and then we're going to screw that to the base. This inner screw actually needs to be one of the short ones, and we don't put a rubber washer on there because the part of the bed hits it. So for the inner holes, we just use a screw, the shorter screw, about 30 mils, a washer, and then straight through into the base, and then the large bush underneath. Okay, so we've just finished screwing this one down, the same as this one. Now we're just going to do this side, and it's just the opposite basically of this one. So the short screw on the inside and the long screw on the outside. And again, watch the orientation of the y-axis bracket. Make sure you've got access to the screw head from the inside of the printer, not through the plastic. So take your M3 drill out your holes again. Which one you start with? I'll start with the long one again. So take your long M4, washer, small bush, bracket, and again just watch the orientation. So in this case it's going this direction. Large bush, screw it in. Take your short screw, about 30 mil, washer, no bush, through the hole, and the large bush underneath. That's it, and we'll just continue and do the last one. So after you've mounted all your y-axis brackets, the next step is we're going to mount some of these 10 mil silvered rods. These are like chrome steel rods out of the printers. And so we've grabbed 2 that are approximately the right length, and we're just going to mark them and then take to them with a hacksaw and actually cut them down. So Just decide which end you're going to cut. So I'm going to keep that. I'm just going to cut them pretty close to the length. Just put a small mark there. And the next step is we're going to take them outside. It's going to be noisy, and we're going to cut them with a hacksaw. Here we are. We're just going to hacksaw. Now, when you're clamping these, just make sure that you use a rag or something to protect your chrome steel. You don't want to put big dents in it with the vise. So I'm just going to cut it to the mark we just marked. Clean up these ends where we cut it with a hacksaw, just to take the sharp there off, just with a grinder. You can do it with a file as well. So we'll just come out like that, and we're going to repeat that for the other one. Okay, we just finished cleaning up our rods, and we're just going to install them now. So grab the long rod or the short rod, and just pass it through the holes, and grab an M4 screw, something like that. You want the thread to go most of the way through the plastic to give it a good bit of grip. So just install your screw. You can see it closing that gap, and then you know you're pretty much done, and your rod won't move. And so we repeat that for the other side, and just put the remaining screws in. Okay, so next step, we're just going to mount the Z axis top, left and right. That's your right, that's your left. So just grab your part, and we're going to just drill the holes first into the perspex.